Ready? Start. Shishuram was just returning from the field. He placed the plough in the courtyard and after a hurried bath, changed his loincloth and hastened to the kitchen where Bhadri, his wife, was preparing the midday meal. Shishuram became indignant when he found that the rice had not yet been cooked and the curry too was not on fire. He saw that the dhekya had not even been dressed for cooking. The maida was lying on a plantain leaf like a dead peacock, and the kai fish lying on the floor looked like ash besmeared fakirs intoxicated with puffs of hemp. On the other side, near the oven, he saw Bhadri, blinded with smoke, blowing the fire. Shishuram was fretting and fuming with anger when he found that the meal was not ready. From early morning, a disputatious mood had possessed him. His anger had been steadily mounting to a climax for very many reasons. The day before he had had to stop plowing as it was a Krishna Ekadashi, a day forbidden for plowing. This morning the bullocks had given a lot of trouble in the field. Besides, Shishuram had had a quarrel this very morning with his neighbor Bahua over an encroachment on his land. The quarrel had swollen in size and would have certainly exploded, but Bahua had been able to foresee the danger and had fled before the bubble burst. It is an age-old maxim that whenever one is angry, one's rage is to be borne by one's wife. On a previous occasion also, when Shishuram had been vexed to a degree by the redoubtable Bahua, he had extinguished his anger by beating Bhadri on the ground that she had failed to feed the bullocks on time. Bhadri, like Mother Earth, pa- patiently bore these onslaughts of her husband without a groan or a grumble. In fact, Bhadri had a firm conviction that these occasional beatings and chastisements were as natural as sleep and hunger, indispensable corollaries of married life. She sought her salvation through devotion to Shishuram. But there is a limit to everything. Even Mother Earth, the embodiment of forbearance, sometimes gives a tremor. Would it therefore be unnatural if poor Bhadri should rise in revolt when things become intolerable? Bhadri was exhausted with her efforts at blowing the smoky fire. Shishuram looked daggers at her and from a distance cried out excitedly, "Daughter of so and so, why have you not prepared the meal? Can't you see it's late?" His face and his eyes were flushed red with anger. Turning round from the smoke, Bhadri replied dryly, "Should I cook the food with my head?" There is not a single log in the house. I am blowing myself out to kindle the fire with wet logs. It is rightly simply to flare up without using your head a bit. Her tired eyelids were weighted with drops of perspiration. "What do you say, you daughter of a bitch?" roared Shishuram, and with a shrug of his shoulders he rushed towards Bhadri and struck her on the back with the maida that was lying on the floor. Before a second blow could be given, hearing Bhadri's heart-piercing shrieks, Kinaram, Shishuram's brother, came running in and immediately caught hold of his brother and dragged him outside. Poor Bhadri, soon lying in a pool of blood. Stop.